All right, part two, still January the 13th. Okay, so we recapped a little bit on Red Note and the FARs, and I might touch back on that again because there's just so much to dig into there. It just doesn't sit right as someone who lives here and has seen plenty of active Guad FARs start. And yeah, but anyway, I also just kind of wanted to address the overall attitude of trolling that is just, and I don't know if I already mentioned it. I got a lot of drafts. Y'all have to deal with me. But, just starting with, you've got President Carter's funeral and memorial, where even the photos released from the memorial, edited out. The smelly one. I mean, it was great. It was such shade. The vice president did the same thing in her post, used the same photos and cropped them out if there were photos that had them. And just like, what a great way to make sure history, like, how does it feel to be cropped out of history? Like, this is their whole thing, is rewriting history. That's his thing. That's first boyfriend's thing. And, so that was wild. You've got Vance in his pants with his weird tweet about, wouldn't it be, what would people think if he didn't go to his own inauguration, so he could go to like a college game or something? And it was like, it's supposed to be a joke. And he had the little meme with the two buttons, like your own inauguration or watch the Chiefs win or whatever the hell it was. I don't know. And I was just like, and everyone was like, that's not what someone posts when they're about to be inaugurated to be VP of the country. I mean, even the Mad Hatters were like, hey, you can step aside. Let first boyfriend do it anyway. He's the real one pulling the strings. So, I mean, I don't know, y'all. Y'all might be onto something. That one, that one could be the I don't know. I don't know. But then you've got you've got the Jack Smith report coming out. Okay. You've got the sentencing, and here's the important thing about that I think I didn't mention in the other videos. Didn't mention. Sorry, I'm like so tired. With this conditional or unconditional sentencing, whatever the heck it was called, not only does he have to turn over his DNA, and it's officially, sentenced on the record, can't undo it, whatever. He's now a predicated felon, meaning if he gets into more trouble, he gets hit with the book. There's no leniency. It's like being a repeat offender at that point. Like, okay, we let you go with a warning, so if you get in trouble again, you're going to get in twice as much trouble because you were given that warning, sort of thing. And, like I said on the thing, that's like telling a fish to stop swimming or a bird to stop flying if you tell that dude to stop criming. So, and what do we know? We have a whole bunch of crimes that are being released. You have the Congressional Committee that released their almost 900-page report. The Jack Smith report goes alongside with that. And that's being released at some point. The AG has it. It has been released. It's been cleared to be released. We're just waiting for the AG to drop it. And I'm sure they're going to drop it at the juicy moment. We have these upcoming meetings. I think tomorrow there's a meeting to discuss the junk drawer picks, not to vote, but like to discuss some things about them. So that could be interesting. I don't know. There's a security meeting coming up on Wednesday. There's rumors of folks from NATO and ICC floating around. But really, the attitude is what's giving it for me. We had the security director or intelligence. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his title, but he was speaking, giving his briefing. And before he leaves, I have it in my TikTok, he's bidding everyone goodbye. And then he kind of says like, oh yeah, this should be the last time I'm speaking to you. Unless something happens, that would be the only thing that could bring me back. And something could happen because these are like, if anything should tell you over these last few years, it's that anything's possible, sort of thing. And what have I been telling y'all? We've been saying, don't expect the precedented during unprecedented times. And here is the intelligence chief or whatever, basically saying exactly that. And darling, that was not a mistake. That was the person to drop that kind of little jewel there. Because if there's anyone who's going to know how important your word choice is, it's going to be one of the people dealing with the intelligence or security or whatever. So for one of them to kind of leave that there, yes, someone said it in the comments. They're like, they're throwing it out there, kind of like just getting people used to that concept of what if something you never saw before happens. Like we've been saying. So, and then there was the email from the campaign where folks have said in past emails, the photos sometimes are clickable. They're not marked as such, but if you do happen to click on it, it would take you to like a backup fundraising page, like another page for the campaign. In the one that was just released, when you click on it, it takes you to a post on the Twitter space where it's a clip of one of her prior interviews where she was talking about what she was going to do on day one of her administration. Now, whether that is just trolling the people over there, etc., on what they could have had behind door number one if they would have just bothered to listen to anyone other than their God King and their pulpits. But for a lot of us, that stood out as a very bold Easter egg. And to me, too, because, darling, that's not a mistake. That wasn't a mistaken link. And every other time it goes to fundraising, and this time it goes to that specifically, with what the intelligence dude is saying, with the general kind of shade we're seeing from the international community. Germany is like, fuck those dudes. France is like, fuck those dudes. Canada is like, fuck those dudes. Half of the world right now is like, fuck those dudes. And like I keep saying, on a dime, right? Since certification hit and everyone's attitude swapped, almost like they didn't have to pretend anymore. So, I mean, we shall see what happens, but it's very interesting. All of what's going on, all of what's happening. You've got that the 19th is when the that DNI report that would have been produced and handed to Department of Homeland Security, etc., for them to review everything, put together their shit, and then deliver it to Joe Biden by the 19th. That is why Mr. Man is having his wannabe mustache man party on the 19th. He wants his people there. He wants to be protected because something could spring by then, on then, what have you. And okay, disclaimer for the folks who are going to pop in and go, stop with the false hope, you guys. Plan B. We become you. We are ready to be petty. We're wearing our hats. We're doing not my president. We're going to be insufferable. All right. That's plan B. And plan C, especially those of us on the coast over here, California, etc., all those states that would love to become provinces. Yeah, since Canada said they would be interested, we are also interested. And so if the rule book is out the window, you think we give a fuck about staying here and supporting the rest of y'all? No. So that is plan A, plan B, and plan C. None of them include being devastated and rolling over and complying with the criminal regime. So those are not my plans here ever, no matter what happens. And if that's what you were looking for, then I keep telling y'all, this is not the space for you. I'm not the creator for you. Like, you don't want to hear what I have to say if all you're going to do is doom and gloom. It's like the people who are dumping on the red note protest, like they're missing the point. People are going there because they think it's so much safer and there's no way the government is going to ban the red note. Like, oh, you're missing it. Oh, you're missing it. No, that has nothing to do with that. It's the point. It's the principle. It's, you said we should be scared of China? I got you scared of China. Hey, China, what's up? Is there any other information you need? Would you like my bank account? Would you like my social? Would you like the births of all my children? I do not care. You know why? Because we already know that Muscatina and Zuckerberg has already sold this shit to you. You've already got it from them. Everything for TikTok is already housed in the States. The servers are here. The mods are here. Everything is here. So all this bullshit, yeah, we called it. We called it out. It's like, okay. You said you don't want our shit in China. This shit is here. We can show you having our shit in China. We do not care. We have nothing to lose. All right. That's the problem with milking the working class until there's nothing left. There's nothing left. So, I mean, try us, bitch. We got nothing. Sure. Hey, China. What else do you want?